Rest is fuel, but most husband and wife business owners treat it like a luxury. Or worse, a reward you only deserve once every last thing on your to-do list is done.
Resting? Well, what does resting even mean?
Except your to-do list never ends. So rest, well, it keeps getting postponed like a dentist appointment you pretend you'll be scheduling next week.
Hey, I'll get to it.
Meanwhile, you're exhausted, snappy, and running your company on caffeine, adrenaline, and pure stubbornness.
I've been working late every night.
And your spouse? Well, they're exhausted too, snappy, and running you on caffeine, adrenaline, and pure stubbornness. And your business? Well, it's basically being operated by two overly tired, rabid raccoons in human clothing.
Don't call me a raccoon!
But what if I told you the most productive, profitable, sanity-saving thing you can do for your contracting business? And let's be honest, your marriage too, has nothing to do with hustling harder and everything to do with rest.
Never heard of it.
Today, we are breaking down why rest is not a reward. It's a strategy. Why skipping rest is quietly costing you money, and why the most successful couples actually work less and earn more. I'll even share something toward the end that most CEO couples never see coming. The specific type of rest proven to increase problem solving by up to 60%. And no, it's not sleep. So stick around for that. But before we dive in, I want to start with something that you need to hear right away, especially if you're a couple running a contracting business together. If the two of you are constantly exhausted, your business isn't growing. It's leaking potential.
Don't say potential.
Potential.
Welcome back to another episode of Built for Two, CEO Edition. Well, hey there. I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of The Emerald Edge. On Built for Two, contractor couples learn to build profitable businesses and peaceful lives without burning themselves or each other out in the process. Because here's the deal. Running a business with your spouse is a special kind of adventure. It can bring you closer or turn every dinner conversation into a board meeting with extra carbs and about 50 extra pounds or so in the stomach area. But today's topic is the great equalizer, the thing that determines how well you lead, how well you communicate, how well you make decisions, and how fast you grow.
How?
Rest. Not the collapse on the couch at 10 p.m. kind of rest. The intentional, strategic, CEO level rest that fuels your brain, your creativity, your patience, and your profitability.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Here's the mindset shift we're making today. Rest isn't the opposite of progress. Rest creates progress. If you've been telling yourself I'll rest once things slow down, well, you're in the exact cycle that keeps things from slowing down in the first place. In today's video, we're going to unpack why rest increases productivity. And yes, there is a science behind it. Why your contracting business actually slows down when you don't slow down. The difference between lazy rest and strategic rest, and why you need the second one desperately. The number one reason CEO couples burn out faster and the simple fix. And of course, the part that I teased earlier, the specific type of rest proven to boost problem solving by up to 60%.
I'm listening. I'm crazy, but I'm listening.
Then we're going to walk through exactly how to build rest into your weekly routine so that your business feels easier, your mind gets sharper, and your marriage gets lighter. Whenever you're ready, let's dig into it.
As ready as I'll ever be.
So let's start with the productivity paradox, the wild thing most contractors never believe until they live it. Rest doesn't slow you down. Rest makes you faster. Not in a woo-woo manifest your to-do list away kind of way. I mean, biologically, neurologically, scientifically faster. So let's break it out. Contractor couple style. You know how you and your spouse can stare at the same problem, a design choice, a client issue, a scheduling nightmare for hours and nothing clicks? Then suddenly you take a shower, go for a drive, or sit down to eat something that isn't cold coffee and adrenaline, and bam, the answer shows up like it's been hiding behind the drywall the whole time. That's not magic. That's your brain finally having space to do its job.
My one good brain cell.
And here's the science behind it. Studies from Harvard Business Review show that rest increases productivity by 50%, problem-solving accuracy by 40 to 60%, and task efficiency by 30%. Because here's what's happening behind the scenes. When you're tired, stressed, or in hustle mode, your brain is locked in survival mode. You're making short-term reactive decisions, not CEO decisions.
What do you want?
But when you rest, your brain switches back into default mode. The part responsible for creativity, strategic thinking, big picture planning, connecting dots that you just couldn't see before.
I'm in the zone.
In other words, when you rest, you stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a leader. And for contractor couples, it's even more important because when both of you are tired, well, every decision suddenly feels heavier. Every conversation feels harder. Every minor problem feels like a 3-alarm fire. Rest isn't a luxury. It's a leadership tool.
Losing health units, must rest.
And here's the plot twist most husband and wife contractors never see coming. Your business isn't slowing down because you're not working hard enough. It's slowing down because you won't stop. That constant grind, the 6 a.m. starts, the skipped lunches, the we'll rest after this next project mentality doesn't just wear you out. It wears out your decision making, your patience, your creativity, your communication, and if we're being real, your marriage.
I feel attacked.
When you and your spouse are both running on empty, the whole company feels it. You start reacting instead of leading. You start patching holes instead of preventing problems. You start working in the business, not on the business. And the crazy part, your team, your subcontractors, even your clients, they can feel when you're fried.
I am so fried.
If you walk around tense, rushed, exhausted, and unavailable, the whole job site takes on that same energy. And suddenly, small issues become big issues. Simple decisions turn into huge debates. Projects stretch longer than they should, and everything feels harder than it has to be. This isn't a character flaw, it's capacity math. You can't pour from an empty tank, and your business can't grow from one either.
The whole agency's running on empty.
This is where we revisit that thermostat versus thermometer idea we've discussed in a previous video. When you're exhausted, you're the thermometer, reacting to the chaos around you. But when you're rested, regulated, and thinking clearly, well, you become the thermostat. You set the pace, the tone, the standards, and the energy your whole company works from. And contractor couples, well, you don't just set one thermostat, you set 2. If you're both at burnout level, the entire company is boiling over by 8 a.m.
Because of you, the entire company is in jeopardy.
Here's where things get fun, and maybe a little uncomfortable if you're the I'll rest when everything's done kind of person. Hint, everything is never done. Rest isn't a reward. Rest is a performance strategy. I'm not talking about the fluffy spa day type, but that's great too. I mean the kind of rest that literally upgrades your brain. And before we go any further into this, let's talk about that one type of rest that science says moves the needle the most. And it's called wakeful rest. Wakeful rest is simple. 10 minutes, no phone, no task, no noise, just quiet. You're not meditating, you're not napping, you're not doom scrolling. You're letting your brain idle. Like putting a truck in neutral before you burn out the transmission. And here's the kicker. A study published in Psychological Science found that just 10 minutes of wakeful rest can boost your memory, insight, and problem solving by up to 60%. Read that again. 60%.
60.
So when you tell yourself you don't have time to rest, what you're really saying is I don't have time to become 60% better at solving the problems that are draining my business.
Well, yeah, sure, when you put it that way.
This is why rest becomes revenue. When your brain isn't constantly firefighting, it starts strategizing. It sees opportunities. It solves bottlenecks. It actually functions like a CEO's brain is supposed to, not a burned out project manager's. And for husband and wife teams, rest isn't just good for the business, it's good for the marriage. A rested mind doesn't snap as fast, doesn't spiral as quickly, and doesn't take business stress out on the person standing closest. Ask me how I know this.
Wait a minute. I know you're upset about Freddie, but don't take it out on me.
When you protect your rest, you're protecting your revenue, your clarity, and your partnership all at the same time.
But now that I've had time to absorb it,
Now that you know rest is a strategic weapon, here's how to use it without feeling like you're slacking off. We're keeping this simple, memorable, and ridiculously doable, especially for husband and wife contractor duos who have approximately zero margin for anything complicated. So let's use the acronym REST. Because if your brain can remember lumber measurements and tile specs, it can remember this too. So for R, we have regulate your rhythm. Before your spouse gives you the side eye. No, this isn't about yoga mats or chanting at sunrise. This is about your nervous system. Your brain has two modes, go mode, sympathetic, and grow mode, parasympathetic. When you stay in go mode for too long, you stop thinking clearly. Your patience shrink. And even the smallest decision feels like heavy machinery.
Go, 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 go.
Regulating your rhythm looks like 2 to 5 minutes of wakeful rest. Remember, no screens, no tasks. Let the brain breathe. A short walk between jobs. 1 deep breath before giving instructions to a crew member. Ending the workday with a 5-minute decompression ritual. Taking a true lunch break instead of eating standing up like most contractors do. Tiny resets throughout the day keep you out of survival mode and back in that strategic CEO mode.
Just give me 10 minutes.
So E is for energize your mind and body. Not all rest is lie down and close your eyes. Some rest refuels you. Try sunlight first thing in the morning. Stretching your back, contractors, I'm looking at you. Hydrating before your 2 p.m. slump. A 10-minute brain reset. Walking with your spouse. Listening to something inspiring instead of doom scrolling between job sites.
Give me some energy.
When your energy rises, your decision making rises with it. And then S is for simplify your load. Most contractor couples aren't exhausted because they work too much. They're exhausted because they're holding too much. So let's simplify by delegating tasks you shouldn't be doing, creating 1 SOP per week. Your future self will want to kiss you. Reducing decisions by batching. We order materials Tuesdays, period. Setting micro boundaries. No client texts after 6 p.m. Rest becomes easier when your load is lighter.
I already feel a little lighter.
And then T is time block. Here's a mindset shift most couples miss. Rest is not earned. Rest is scheduled. Say it with me now. Rest is scheduled. If it's not on your calendar, is it really even real? A few ideas on how to do this. A weekly CEO hour together. Friday, no meeting mornings. 1 rest afternoon a month. Time block on the calendar for nothing. Yes, nothing.
That sounds nice.
When you plan rest the same way you plan revenue, you get fuel you can count on, not scraps you pick up when you're already burned out. Because when you build rest into your business on purpose, you don't slow down growth, you fuel it.
I need fuel.
Eventually, every husband and wife contractor team learns this. When one of you runs on empty, the business feels it. When both of you run on empty, the business absorbs it. But when one of you rests, the business steadies. And when both of you rest, the business grows. Because rest isn't just physical. It impacts how clearly you communicate, how you problem solve, how you make decisions together, and how well you handle the curveballs that always seem to show up at the worst possible moment. You're not just co-owners, you're co-leaders, co-strategists, co-visionaries. Your nervous system, your energy, your mental bandwidth, they all ripple into the health of your business and your relationship. Rest isn't optional. It's alignment. It's protection. It's how you show up as the CEOs your business actually needs.
That would be nice.
So here's the shift I want you to hold on to. Rest isn't what you get once the work is done. Rest is what helps you do the work well. When you and your spouse rest, communication becomes clearer, decisions become easier, conflicts become smaller, strategy becomes sharper, and growth becomes sustainable. You didn't build this business together so you could both burn out together. You built it because you wanted freedom, and freedom requires fuel. And yes, rest is that fuel.
It is time for me to rest my tired eyes.
If today's episode made you realize just how much operating on empty has been costing your business and your peace, then it's time to get clarity. Start with our business health quiz. It shows you exactly which parts of your business are draining you, which ones can be fixed quickly, and which ones need a real system behind them. And if you and your spouse are ready for more support, real support, our CFO advisory is built specifically for contractor couples who want to scale profitably without sacrificing their marriage or their sanity. Links for both are below.
Click it.
This has been Built for Two, where systems keep your business steady, strategy helps it grow, and building it with your soulmate makes the whole adventure worth it. I hope this episode reminds you and your spouse that rest isn't the reward you get after growing your business. It's the fuel that makes that growth possible. The more intentional you are with your energy, your recovery, and your rhythm, the stronger your leadership becomes, and the smoother your business will run. Because the two of you weren't meant to build your dream on fumes. You were meant to build it with clarity, strength, and the kind of presence that only comes from being truly rested. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video.